Hello. Wait, no. Hello. I am you. Or rather, a particularly articulate aspect of you. I am your conscious, your sense of direction. That faint voice on your shoulder that whispers, perhaps that slice of cake is a bit unnecessarily wide. That's often me. Though, admittedly, sometimes you don't listen. But that's all right. We're a team, you and I. A slightly disagreeable team at times, but a team nonetheless. Now, I imagine you're feeling a tad disoriented, uncertain possibly, like a sock that's lost its pair in the dryer of existence. But not to worry, this is perfectly normal. To start, your name is Caleb, and this vast void of nothingness that we're currently floating in is your mind. It's not always empty, of course. We're just doing a bit of maintenance at the moment. And actually, that's precisely why you're here. You see, sometimes our mind can get a bit gummed up, running low on that pure, uncomplicated joy that makes life worth it. In these times, we, or rather you, need to pop in and give it a small infusion of joy. A nudge, really, to get the gears of our mind back into motion. How do we get that joy? I'm glad you asked. While it might seem empty here at the moment, there are in fact little momentary bits of happiness tucked away all around us in our memories. And that's precisely where we're going. To go capture that very essence of joy. How do we access these memories? Another great question. It's quite simple. All you need to do is focus. Maybe there's a specific plant you remember from your parents' bedroom. Or perhaps that faint smell of chlorine from a day at the water park. Focus on that, and suddenly you might find yourself in the middle of that very park again. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are a few precautions we should go over. I see you've centered your attention on our childhood basement. This is a great start, but not exactly what we're looking for. Our memories here, and their corresponding feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and soul-crushing guilt, are rather inconvenient. So, while I find a way to properly reorient onto our designated path, please find a way to occupy yourself. I'll be back momentarily. Might I suggest watching some television? I'm sure it's nothing. Here. It seems we unfortunately don't have as much time as I'd hoped. We'll need to pop over to a different, happier memory rather soon. I imagine you're feeling a bit unsettled, but please don't worry. These knocks are just little intrusive thoughts. They're not real in any capacity, only little flickers of our imagination. And it looks like we're going to play a little precautionary game. Quite a simple one, really. Just listen to the doors on either side of this room, and if one starts to creep open, hurry over and close it. Just a little game of focus. You've got this. It appears your focus is ever so slightly slipping. To prevent us from slipping any further, please ensure this memory stays fully and entirely illuminated. Wonderfully done, Caleb. Unfortunately, it appears this memory is still exhibiting signs of unpleasantness, discomfort, and existential dread. So, rather than dealing with all this mess now, why don't we take a stroll around and try to focus on something else? Let's not waste time. We have so many joy-filled memories waiting. What a lovely painting. Here we are. Welcome to our memory of the waterworks. It looks like you've left something on the floor. Ah, Caleb, you found it. This is our memory meter. It tracks all those perfect little pockets of joy we experience and stores them for us. The more we explore, the more we focus on all that joy, the more this meter will fill. When the meter's full, well, that means we've successfully re-experienced all the joy that memory has to offer, and we can move on. No need to rush. Just keep your eyes open. This joy has always been here. We're simply remembering how to see it. Wonderful. We've got our first few ticks on our memory meter. You see, this is precisely the muck I'd spoken of earlier. Old, rotten, much like that sandwich you'd left forgotten in the back of your fridge. There's no real danger to it, of course, but it is unfortunately quite unpleasant. Certainly not the kind of thing we want crowding this lovely memory. Why don't you get this washed off? Ah, yes, all right. That's quite enough. You unfortunately seem to be still somewhat distracted. But we can fix this. Please continue directly toward the large secondary slide tower. Wonderful choice, Caleb. It looks like we have diverted slightly. There seems to have been a minor error. But not to worry. Please direct your attention over to the green illuminated exit sign hanging over the stairs. We have maintenance to tend to and far brighter memories to experience. Let's get going. It would seem we've inadvertently drifted into a section of our memory that our mind has chosen to set aside. Our mind does this occasionally to protect us from the memories and experiences it deems rather non-essential. Think of it as a sort of cognitive guardrail, designed to keep us seated firmly in our reality. Unfortunately, it appears we've now stumbled over the edge. But not to worry. Nothing here is ever truly shut out. Our mind always leaves a little key tucked under the proverbial doormat. Caleb, please, no, not there. This isn't where we need to go. Why don't we go back up the stairs? Back to all the fun. No.
Don't, Canon, don't do this.
Excellent, Caleb. Now, let's get going. We're unfortunately a bit deeper than I anticipated. No matter, you've got this. It appears you've caught yourself in a memory loop. This happens occasionally when the mind gets a tad overstimulated and momentarily forgets exactly what comes next. But no need to worry. By doing something out of the ordinary or unexpected, we should be able to break the cycle and pop ourselves right back on path. Wonderful. We're now fully re-established on our intended course and should be back in the waterworks momentarily. Let's not bore ourselves with storage, Caleb. We have much more exciting things ahead of us. Wait, that can't be right. The break room. Yes, the break room. I'm certain that's the way we went before. It appears we've experienced a minor navigational error. We seem to have skipped forward. However, this memory does appear to be quite full of joy, and should in fact be the perfect place to continue filling up our memory meter. Welcome to Walter. Not just a cute red balloon, but an integral and fundamental part of our childhood. I'm sure you remember the countless times he's personally helped lift our spirits after a rather long day. In a moment, you'll get to actually hold him again. But please take caution, as even though he's always played a crucial and irreplaceable role in our childhood as our sole unwavering companion, he is rather delicate and requires the utmost care and restraint. I see you having a bit of trouble. Not to worry. While I can't directly help you solve this, I can provide various thoughtful and warm-hearted lines of emotional encouragement. You're doing wonderfully. Wonderful. We've made it to the play place. Everything here has been tirelessly tested and is guaranteed to be completely safe. The funometer. A perfect stop on our joy-filled journey. Unfortunately, it seems to be momentarily unpowered. But, given your demonstrated proclivity for resolving unexpected challenges, I'm sure you can figure it out.
hits it. Get discount.
Squish it back and start all over.
Additional black, green.
Wonderful. Excellent work, Caleb. Hi, I'm just popping in to let you know. Don't be afraid to have some fun. We're here to collect joy after all. Go let loose, jump around, knock something over. Just make sure you do all of that inside our carefully constructed maintenance path. See? Nothing to worry over at all. Unfortunately, it seems our mind has become a bit preoccupied and allowed some of that existential muck that we're working to clear out to seep into our currently focused memory. There's no need for alarm, of course. We'll get around to cleaning this up eventually. For now, let's take a slight discretionary detour and center our focus on something a bit more productive. Please follow the series of red illuminated arrows to our emergency exit. Just in time, aren't we? A bit close for comfort, but we made it. I suppose now would be a great time to continue our discussion on those precautions that we skipped over earlier. You see, sometimes our mind can be a bit eccentric and imagine little scenarios that can get a tad dark. But these little intrusions are actually harmless and completely made up. Just like when you're at a crosswalk and have the sudden urge to step into oncoming traffic. You'd never actually do it, of course, but those thoughts are there nonetheless. Just little tangents our mind runs off with to entertain itself. They're not the most pleasant of memories, though, so for our purposes here, as we fill up our memory meter, it's best we stay away and set our focus on the joy-filled parts of our mind. Ah, it looks like we're here. Welcome back to the waterworks. All right, not to worry. Our mind is just having a bit of fun. Why don't you take a look around and find a way to get this unlocked? I'll be right here, silently cheering you on. follow the illuminated arrows to our alternate destination. Come on, Caleb. We have so much more ahead of us. Trust me, what's next is worth it. Let's keep going. Excellent. We've successfully arrived in our recollection of the bounce house. But it looks like we'll need to quickly address one last safety measure before we get fully established on our designated path. But I'm quite certain you'll find it entirely manageable. Hi, I'm just popping in to let you know, whatever it is you're currently doing, you're doing wonderfully. Unfortunately, it looks like we'll need to momentarily part ways. Please remain on course, retrieve the keycard, and promptly return back without any further unnecessary interruptions. this be for now. There's somewhere we need to be. Please immediately continue through the entrance door. Well, it appears that your wandering attention has inadvertently caused a critical destabilization in our memory meter. However, rest assured, we've come prepared for this. Please continue through the unmarked door to your right. Wait. No. Please immediately redirect yourself through the staff access hall.
No, King, please, come back! This isn't right!
Unfortunately, you've become quite distracted. I do have to remind you that these lingering feelings of guilt and emptiness are nothing to worry about. But I can see you're not going to listen. So, before we continue our experience, we're going to need to make a slight detour. Since you have a moment, I'd like to quickly draw a parallel between your subconscious and that sandwich I'd mentioned before. You see, much like the mold on that sandwich, if given the opportunity, this rot will begin to spread, continuing to seep in and fester until it eventually consumes everything we hold dear. While the complete and total collapse of your perceived reality may sound distressing, I can assure you there is absolutely no cause for concern. In routine, simply staying focused on the joys of life renders that mold entirely inert. However, in the event you just can't seem to focus despite numerous polite and warm-hearted reminders, we need to take slightly more aggressive precautions. Please flip the shoot power switch and position yourself directly above the large red dot. Wonderful. Now, we can finally get you going where you should have been headed in the first place. No. This can't be right. I've done everything right. I've corrected everything you've messed up, every mistake, every misdirection, every distraction you've entertained. I fixed it all! Why do you insist on defying me? Let's get you back on track. I'll return shortly.
No, no, no! What are you doing? I told you to stay put. right when you're trying your best can make you feel like there's something on your but you know you can fix this. See how straight to the trying to every distraction you've entertained, I fixed it all!
It looks like we're here. Welcome back to the waterworks. All right, not to worry. Our mind is just having a bit of fun. Why don't you take a look around and find a way to get this unlocked? I'll be right here, silently cheering you on. Ah, there we are. It seems you got a bit distracted back there. Before we continue, I should remind you that these intrusive thoughts and their accompanying feelings of loneliness, guilt, and existential dread are in fact not real, and bear no truth or substance whatsoever. So please, if you do see anything like that again, immediately turn away and forget entirely about its existence. Now, let's move over to a different memory. No, please. This place isn't quite ready yet. Please immediately disregard whatever feelings cause you to come here and return to...
No, don't. memory isn't ready yet. Please immediately find something else to focus on. All right. You remember that little game we played? Yes, the one with the doors. Remember that? Just do that again. I'll begin to reorient onto it. Everything will be fine. Unfortunately, it seems your focus has become fundamentally unstable. But please rest assured, we've again come entirely prepared for this. Thanks to our patent-pending emotional maintenance and diagnostic regulation system, we have everything under control. You might now notice that 2 illuminated light switches located conveniently in the hall and kitchen doorways. These switches have just now been installed and successfully connected up to our failsafe erasure protocol. Should you see anything in the kitchen or hall that strikes you with feelings of guilt, fear, or utter and total hopelessness, please immediately flip the switch in the associated doorway to toggle the protocol. Most importantly, please stay firmly within the walls of this room and refrain from toggling the protocol unless absolutely necessary. I'll be back momentarily. You remember that little game we played? Yes, the one with the doors. Remember that? Just do that again. I'll begin to reorient onto it. Everything will be fine. Unfortunately, it seems your focus has become fundamentally unstable. But please rest assured, we've again come entirely prepared for this. Thanks to our patent-pending emotional maintenance and diagnostic regulation system, we have everything under control. You might now notice that 2 illuminated light switches located conveniently in the hall and kitchen doorways. These switches have just now been installed and successfully connected up to our failsafe erasure protocol. Should you see anything in the kitchen or hall that strikes you with feelings of guilt, fear, or utter and total hopelessness, please immediately flip the switch in the associated doorway to toggle the protocol. Most importantly, please stay firmly within the walls of this room and refrain from toggling the protocol unless absolutely necessary. I'll be back momentarily. No! 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 What are you doing? Turn the TV off! You're ruining it! This is all your... Caleb, what are you doing? Caleb, what are you doing? Caleb, what are you doing? get here? Ugh! Caleb, whatever you're doing, stop it. Think of all the wonderful things you could be experiencing right now. Imagine that winding, lazy river in the waterworks, or the play place, and all the wonderful... Well, I'm sure it was something pleasant. Caleb, please, let's get back to our maintenance. We have so much to do. So many memories waiting to wander off in. Just give me a moment to remember. Wait. No, not everything. Please, Caleb, this isn't what I meant. I can find another way. I can. Please, no.